let's start on the positive. No, let's start on the negative.
Okay.
Which team has the most bleak future going in the next 5 years, projecting out the next 5 years?
So I'm not going to call it necessarily bleak, but it's tenuous. They have to hit the right notes. The Texas Rangers.
Really?
Yes.
I was not expecting that.
So you'd think, okay, this team won a world championship 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
Well, Simeon and Seager are both in their mid 30s. They're both very productive players, but there's a natural aging curve that follows any player, no matter how good they are. Only a select group of people of like Hank Aaron and Satchel Paige have done so without supplemental assistance
Yeah.
from a
Yeah, for
doctor.
sure.
But um, a lot of their other players in their lineup do not have long-term contract security. A
Mm.
lot of them have the potential to go to arbitration and negotiate for higher salaries, as well as potentially go to unrestricted free agency and go elsewhere. The biggest concern for me, though, mainly is the rotation. The rotation is very old. Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter both are now at the major league level, and they seem like they're doing well. But when you're getting a good rotation in baseball, you have to be a Costco shopper, not a Whole Foods shopper.
Mm.
You got to have at least 8 starting pitchers that can give you serviceable innings, not just two. And
Yeah.
so, DeGrom, Corbin, uh, some of these other guys, they're getting up there in age. And so injury risk follows with that, as well as they're expensive. Jacob DeGrom is great, and he's expensive for a reason. So I would say it's not necessarily a guarantee that the Rangers fall off, but the Rangers have to do a lot of stuff right to keep the next 5 years competitive. They're going to be good this year, I think. They're struggling a little bit, but 5 years from now, when some of that team ages, it could be a little tough.
Do you think the Rangers' willingness to spend money will save them? Will that be like the life raft in like year 3 or 4 going forward?
It depends because that sword can swing both ways. you know, you can be like the Rangers right before they won that title. They spent a lot of money and they got a lot for it. They got their first World Series ring, but sometimes you can have an LA Angels situation where they weren't afraid to spend money, but it just wasn't allocated correctly. And I think they went down the right path because it seems like they have a plan for older starting pitchers,
Yeah.
but